What is up, Cowboys Nation? And I should say football fans. I don't want to single it out to Cowboys Nation because we probably got maybe some people on here that love the Cowboys. You might have some people on here that want to talk a little mess about the Cowboys. So we welcome you all. I mean, what am I going to do? I've kind of talked through it, and we'll get into it a little bit more, and we're going to get on some other subjects. But before we get rolling, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share. Appreciate all the support. But Jimmy Dee, how are you feeling? And how's your weekend going, man?
Weekend went fine. Had some good family time. The kids had some hockey games, hung out with some family, watched some interesting football. Obviously, we're going to get into that. And honestly, if I didn't have swamp ass right now, I'd be perfect.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, and we'll get into it. I'm sitting here watching the Pittsburgh and Buffalo game, and they Pittsburgh's trying to make a game of it. I think it was 21-0 at one point. I was getting ready to say that's what you do to the 7th seed teams. You beat the hell out of them. But then now Pittsburgh's starting to make a little comeback. So I said, well, I won't say that yet. But it's just amazing with one day. I mean, they showed the pictures yesterday. It looked like a day or Saturday, and it was like a blizzard, and you couldn't see it. 6 inches in front of you, and now all of a sudden it looks clear. The guys are wearing the players are wearing short sleeves, and I mean everything's nice.
What's up, Fred? What's up, Vince? Now you know what they. I mean it's cold there. That's about 6. Just to give you perspective, that's about 6 hours from where I live, way out west. So we didn't get remotely the snow they had. I mean it's cold. The fans had to dig their own seats out. I'm like, man, they better be giving discounts for that, or at least dropping the beer price for the fans that have to shovel their own seats out today.
Yeah.
But I know.
Let me tell you something, Jimmy. This is we had someone pop in. This is who I hold responsible for losing Sunday. I begged Eva to do a hype video with me, get everything going, get the mojo right. She didn't want to do it with Pops. She was a little too busy strutting around on a runway trying to sell prom dresses and didn't want to hang with Pop. So I'm going to have to blame her. So, Eva, you apologize to Cowboys Nation.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, come on. What's up with that? Got to show the respect.
I know. So, I have 2 people I hold responsible, her and Uncle Cheech. Uncle Cheech, I told him to ever talk about the Cowboys. He did. He's a jinx. He's like coffee cake.
He's like, he's like, Eddie Bush.
I don't want Uncle Cheech looking at my team ever again and even mentioning the words Dallas Cowboys. But what's up, everyone in the chat too? I see y'all.
You got to tell him, put him in the bathroom.
Yeah. Fire Dak. We're gonna get into that.
We will get into that because obviously, I'm a friend of Cowboys Nation, but I can give an independent perspective of what I saw yesterday and the other things because I got news for you, man. And we'll get into this as the show goes on. In my opinion, it was halfway a disastrous weekend for the NFL for several reasons.
Yeah,
and we'll get into that as we go along. And
do you want to start with the Cowboys, or do you want to? What do you think?
Yeah, let's start with the Cowboys.
All right, let me play you. I want to play you a clip. I don't know how much you've been paying attention. This sums it up. And I'll just play it. You guys enjoy it if you hadn't seen it.
Every damn where, all across this country, all across the league, they stood up to defend their city and defend their team, except in the city that deserved it the most, except the team that's most recognizable and deserved it the most. What do you do when all you have don't understand what they have? When I got here, I understood the men before me. They built the Dallas Cowboys. They made this America's team. They put a championship on the table before I got here. My job while I was here is to match what they have done to us. They built it. They handed it to me. Put my damn championship on the table. That's all we ask. Put your damn championship on the table, and you couldn't do it. All their asses gotta go.
So that's Michael Irvin. If you saw that, he's 100% correct. That you just don't see any passion like that on the team.
No.
I don't know if it's cultural. I don't know if it's the way it is now, today's player, but it definitely, it's missing.
He said what he feels. And I got news for you. Des Bryant was all over that on X yesterday throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, 24-17, by the way. So you might see an upset
got a
there
ball
too.
game.
Yeah,
Got a ball
exactly.
game.
But that being said, I think yesterday with the Cowboys, we had a tale of two halves if you're going to place blame on somebody. In the first half, okay, so Prescott throws an interception on that first drive. They're only down 7-0. That was not his fault.
That was a great play. That was a
play.
great play by the defense. I don't have an issue with that one. Maybe
No.
the throw, maybe the choice of throw, but I'd have to watch the film and see what else is out there because the guy was on him. But that was a hell of a play by the cornerback.
It was a great play.
I'm not gonna kill him for that one.
But moving forward, a lot of questionable choices. I mean, Darnell Savage, he gift wrapped him like a late Christmas prize, to go house 6 for pick 6. But then there was a lot of other, besides those two, man, he got lucky a few times that there wasn't some interceptions. There was a shovel pass that almost got intercepted. So poor choices in the first half by Dak. You dug a hole. And I'm going to get to the second half in a second. Look, man, they were prepared. The Packers were thoroughly prepared. They did every up and down, checking out your defense on tape and all that stuff. Jordan Love was going up, calling a lot of audibles, if you noticed. Like he was reading your defense, a good mix of run and pass for Green Bay. So that's what I saw there. That's how that 27-0 happened, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going to the second.
The pick 6, inexcusable because they could have went in. And again, my mind could be foggy. So you help me, Jimmy, because I was in a haze. It was 20-0. And I think Dallas was driving. Had they scored, that was right before half. That would have given them the opportunity to be 20-7. They get the ball in the third quarter. If you go down and score, you're at 20-14. The game changes. That pick 6 was idiotic. It was, and I hate to say this, and I know Ultra's in there, and he's the one with the fire Dak. And the thing I'll say with me is if Dak were to come back, which I'm kind of hoping he doesn't. If they do bring him back, I got to be all in. That's just the way I am, man. I'm going to ride with my guys, and it's for better or worse. And unfortunately, it's been for worse. But I will say, I could tell, and I'm sure most Cowboy fans can. Within 5 minutes of the game, I saw the look in his eyes, as Clubber Lang said. I saw the look in his eyes, and I knew they were done. I knew he wasn't there. He just looked like he was just kind of out of it. Looked scared. Looked hazy, whatever you want to say. He didn't look like he had the eye of the tiger as Apollo.
That's right. I saw that look in his eyes. He didn't have the eye of the tiger. That's right.
It was almost like I was waiting for Jordan Love to say, "You see that look in his eyes? He's scared. I'm the new champion today." That's what I thought he was going to start doing.
No, but you know what? And the funny part is, again, me being independent, I'm not emotionally attached, if you will. I saw the same thing you did. Okay, so that's the first half. And like you said, the Cowboys were in Packer territory on that pick 6 at the end. So instead of going maybe 20-7, it's 27-0. Fast forward to the second half. That's where I blame McCarthy. There was some horrible play calls, offensive play calls in the second half. I mean, you're throwing out into the flat. You're throwing, 5-yard outs. And there didn't seem to be any sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Sense of urgency or rhythm. It was like they blew 6 minutes on a drive, only to get 3 points.
Yeah.
Right. And then, you scored that one touchdown and the damn kicker, or you guys either missed a field goal or missed an extra.
Oh, they had a penalty which backed them up.
That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah, they missed the extra. Which I mean, the damage was done. I mean, the game was, it looked like, maybe the score sheet looks like we did better, but we didn't. I mean, the offense didn't do anything. And the question comes down is, what do you do if you're the Cowboys? You fire McCarthy. Quinn has gotten a pass, and I've said he's gotten a pass, and I've said it over and over. You got, Quinn is probably gone. He's interviewing with a few other teams. How someone would hire him beyond me after the performance and the lack of preparation. He looked like he checked out. That's just my opinion. But that defense looked unprepared. They changed coverages, things that they were doing well. He had Micah Parsons dropping back in coverage on 3rd and long instead of rushing the passer and trying to speed it up. They get a long pass, and they convert on 3rd down. Idiotic penalties on against Sam Williams and again, the guy flopped, but you don't even need to be close to him. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, Jimmy.
That's fine.
The penalties that extended drives, I think there was an offsides on there. Just undisciplined football. Things that we talked about, how the Cowboys are going to lose. If they lose time of possession, They give up. They can't stop the run and undisciplined plays. If they play their worst football, they're going to lose. I said it, and unfortunately, that's what happened. But I don't know, what do? You get rid of the quarterback, get rid of McCarthy, get rid of Quinn, get rid of all three, blow it up and start over. I still think they got talent on the team. I still think you got guys around. So maybe they just change a couple things. I don't know.
Well, Ben says fire Mike and DQ now. In my opinion, look, Quinn, yeah, it was a woeful performance on the defense's part. But again, like I said, McCarthy had some high school play calling in the second half, but it gets back to what, unfortunately, you got to give Ultra his due. Dak, again in the playoffs, had a poor game. A really bad game. I know the stats got padded later in the game, but hey, look, as a Falcons fan, send him to us because there's no pressure in Atlanta. I would take him. I just think maybe in Dallas, maybe that's why he did have that look in that lack of look in his eyes in the second half, because he was nervous. It's a high pressure situation there. He knew he was under the gun, and it just didn't work out yesterday.
Yeah, and just in the chat, Dustin, man, I was thinking of you and your dad, man. That had to have been a tough. I felt for every Cowboy fan that was at the game. I wasn't there. Thankfully, I wasn't there. I don't know how I'd be today if I was there to witness that. That was the worst loss in Cowboys history. I'll say it, and I'll say it, and I'll say it, and I'll say it. That was the worst loss in Cowboys history. It was embarrassing. Laughing stock of the league. I mean, everything that can go with it. But the fans, these, and that's why I wanted to show that montage. The fans deserve better. And really, for me, I know there's some Cowboy fans that are turning in their tickets and they're never going back and this, and I get it, man. And to each is their own, and I don't ever judge. It's expensive to go out there, but for me, I love the fans. I love Cowboys Nation. I always said everything leading up to the game is really what drives me to go to that many games. It's not the game. I'm telling you, watching a game at home is a hell of a lot better than at the stadium. For me, it does, because you see so much more. But if you roll it all into one, there's nothing like being at the Cowboys game with the with the fans, and the whole weekend experience that you get. So, it's tough, and I feel for you guys. I just don't know what they do. I saw fire McCarthy. Most penalized team is on Mike. The funny thing is when he was with Green Bay, they were one of the least penalized teams. So I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's just the Cowboys. I don't know if it's a combination of everything. I don't know. Or are they drafting undisciplined players? Because if you look at it, it's the same cast of characters. It's the Sam Williams. It used to be the Randy Gregorys, the guys that they drafted that had a lot of upside but had questionable marks on their, coming out of college, which dropped them in the draft a little bit. Someone said, and I never agree. I'm sorry, Jimmy, I'm rambling.
It's okay.
I'm just upset. I never agree. I was watching ESPN, and I never agree with them. And they said it right there. I think Rob Ryan said it, and I really don't agree with him. The Cowboys need to start bringing in just blue collar players. We got enough divas. We got enough stars. We need guys. We need like Eugene Lockhart said, lunch pail, coming to work hungry guys. That's what they need to start focusing on, and getting some of those guys on your team.
Yeah, you know what it is. And I was going to ask you, have you talked to Eugene since yesterday? I don't know.
No, I was going to reach out to him again. I honestly, I haven't really talked to him. I don't want to babble on. So go ahead, Jimmy.
No, it's okay. No. So you know what? At the end of the day, you're not firing your coach and you're getting rid of your quarterback. That's not happening. I don't think you place the blame on Dan Quinn. I think it's either McCarthy or Dak, one of the two.
Well, Quinn's gone anyway. He's gone
to be a head coach. Yeah, they're not going to pan him. But I don't think it's going to be both McCarthy and Dak. It's going to be one or the other. And if I was a betting man, isn't Dak has one more year?
Yeah, but they're to a point where they're going to have to restructure his deal. So it's either they got to take the hit. They got to take the hit this year. And the option would be, to me, if you move on from Dak, you got some pieces, you got some players, you're going to get some stuff freed up, because obviously you're going to have Pollard probably not coming back. No. That's $10 million, right? Tyron Smith, he had a good year. So, if you can get him back for an incentive contract, a 1-year deal, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But I think you roll with Trey Lance and you take the hit.
Now, let me ask you this. Parsons over the weekend said something to the effect of, if Dan Quinn leaves, he's my guy, or something to that effect. Do you worry about him jumping ship?
No, I mean, where's he going to go? He's under contract for another 2 years. They can franchise him. That's 3 years because he was a first-round pick. So he's going in his 4th year. Then he's got the 5th year. They can pick up the option, and they can you know, or you can or trade him. I mean, look at this point. You know, at this point, I'm open to all options. I don't know if you just got to really, you know, burn it down and build it back up. If you got to do some drastic measures to really shake things up. But what they have now is not working. And I said at the beginning of the season, and I have to stay true to it. I said, if this team ends up in disappointment, you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over because that's just idiotic. You got to change something. Change the coach, change the quarterback, you know, change a bunch of players. I don't know what that'll be. I mean, it's up to, you know, McClay and Jerry and all of them. But Jerry takes a hit. Jerry takes a hit, and I think he's taking a hit for the wrong reasons. This team is talented. It ain't because of personnel. It's not. Now, could they maybe make some free agency moves that might, you know, more splash plays that you see Philly did last year and you see these other teams kind of do? Maybe. But this team, come on, man. They were the 2nd seed. They were favored by over 7. The favorite team in the wild card is 7 or more points was 22-2 all time. This was Dallas Cowboys. I saw it was the only team. What was it? There was something that came out. The only team, they just scored a touchdown, Buffalo.
Yeah, I saw that.
NFL history to lose.
Yes.
What was it, Jimmy? Help me out.
It was, they were the first team to lose. It was, and I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw that stat.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody else remembers. Yeah.
Let me know.
That number 7 lost to a number 2. It was the first time. That's what it was.
What was it?
That was the first time that a 7 seed beat a 2 seed.
It was something with Dallas. It was something with the way Dallas was ranked. It was the first time that it happened, and they're the first team in NFL history again. 3 years, most wins in a 3-year period,
and not going to the championship game. That's right. And you know what? Randy. I just said that you Dak to Atlanta would make. I don't know what we would give up for him because I don't want to give up everything for him, but less pressure. You know, it's a new look for him, and it's kind of starting over a little bit. I would take that all day long because we have no quarterback right now.
Yeah.
I would trade Mike. You know what? The Bears are open for business. I think that's stupid.
Bears ain't going to pay nobody. That's the problem, and that's why I don't think they'd want Micah because you got to remember if they trade Micah, Micah's going to want a new deal from wherever he goes. There's going to be something there. There's going to be something there. I think we need to get O-line. That can run block probably. Yeah. I will tell you what, the running game I said was going to be our demise. I'm not going to say it was in this game, but they definitely need to do something in the running game. I like Pollard, but I like Pollard as a second option. I don't like him as the main dog. So, I mean, that's what I would say.
Then you're going to have plenty of running backs out there you want to pick up, or like we said through the draft. Look what Atlanta's done, man. We got Algier, and then we got Bijan.
There's so many that you can get in the draft.
I mean, because Dak had all day long yesterday. He wasn't really forced into bad decisions. He made bad decisions, but I think you're right about whomever said about run block. Rob Rod 89 was one who said about get a line.
Into that?
What's that? First rounder in Pitt. You know what? Yes.
And Dak gets a free ride to Atlanta.
Yes, exactly. Ultra, I'll drive with you, man.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I mean, it's tough. I didn't foresee that. Like I said last week, I thought Dallas by 10. I didn't see any issue, but man, Green Bay came in prepared. Jordan Love came in prepared.
I understand.
Romeo Doubs went off.
Listen, I give Green Bay the credit. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I give them credit, but Dallas played like shit, and it was just embarrassing. They weren't the better team. The better team didn't win. The better team won that day, but it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to see exactly what ship Dak to Atlanta, sign and trade. There you go.
Let's do it, Kelly.
Gotta go.
I'm down with that.
We got something going on here, so we'll get that thing rolling. But they've got to do. I mean, So let me ask you guys in the chat. You go ahead and you get rid of Dak. Do you get rid of McCarthy? Just clean house. McCarthy, Quinn, Dak, all gone. Is that what you guys are down with?
Well, I mean, to your point, Quinn's probably going to up out a head coaching job anyway. So
Yeah.
that's a great point.
Yeah.
I'm not getting rid of McCarthy. Again, what has happened in the playoffs? Who's been struggling in the playoffs? Dak. You can say what you want. Like, I'm not being a dick.
And it was when
you
had Kellen Moore too. I mean, it was Kellen Moore, Jason Garrett. I mean,
okay, but in fairness, look what Dak Prescott had all year. His stats were phenomenal, especially since it was a week 4, week 5, just blew up.
Yeah.
Again, we said exactly what needed to be done. McCarthy centered the offense around Dak Prescott's strengths, and he, 36 touchdowns and like 9 interceptions.
Yeah.
Phenomenal year. But again, the playoffs are an issue for him. And like I said at the top of the show, and I've had at least 5-6 people, including Kelly and the K9, say, send Dak to Atlanta because we need a quarterback, and you ain't got the pressure that you got in Dallas.
Yeah. And to Ultra's point, I think the dilemma you have with Parsons is, don't trade him, put him back at linebacker. If you put him back at linebacker, he don't want to do that. He wants to rush passer because that's how he's going to get paid. The 3-4 would be, they'd have to get some pieces. I mean, they'd have to really get some pieces going. But the 3-4 would be the option if you're really all in, with Parsons and building around him. They could do it. They're just going to have to just be disciplined in the draft, and they're going to have to spend some money in free agency. But they can switch to a 3-4 if they wanted to. That's what Parsons. I mean, he's an LT type, and that's kind of what he did. And that's because him at the D end all the time, man, he's going up against some of these big guys. He's not able to be, come off the ball freely. And I think that might be an option as a 3-4 if you do it. Do I think Trey Lance would do good? I don't know. That's the thing. But you got him. He's been here for the year. You're taking a risk. And that's the thing. Are you going to be happy? Like if I tell you right now as Cowboy fans, we're going to get 12 wins next year, and we're probably going to be disappointed in the playoffs. Or you make these changes, you might have to ride with Trey Lance. You don't know what you're going to get. And you might get 6 wins. You might get 12 wins. You might get embarrassed in the playoffs, but you might get to a Super Bowl. With Dak, we know the story. We know the ending of the story. We all love that story to be different, but we all got a pretty good idea how that story is going to end. So I don't know. What would you rather have?
Ben, you said that the play calls last night. I say the play calling in the second half was terrible. In the first half was Dak. Second half was McCarthy's play calling. Getting back to what you're saying about the defense, if Quinn's out, you're going to have a new defense anyway. You're not going to have the same defense.
Well, you could look
from a scheme standpoint.
You could look at promoting a guy within.
Okay.
I mean,
Fair.
there's,
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there you go again, Kelly. I mean, Kelly's been fired up with it too. I mean, 17th ranked defense, inexcusable. It is inexcusable.
Hey, Kelly spill his shot last night. Come on. You know things are bad when that happens. I'd have been throwing up all over myself.
But so and I mean, you look at like a Baker Mayfield. That's what I was talking about. People, with people at work today. I mean, a Baker Mayfield. A guy you need if you've got some pieces, and I still think this team is talented. Maybe getting an average quarterback, a game manager, a guy that is not too much into that. Maybe that's an option. Look at Jared Goff. I mean, he's not all that, but but maybe you look for a different guy. I don't know. You got to change something up, though. I'm a believer in that. Look at it. I changed it up. I got a Cowboys shirt. I'm representing the Poison Clan from the 305. I got my Cuts by Jones hat. I changed it up. Jimmy, you're still staying the same, but I changed it.
Maybe I don't want to change. I like who I am.
Well, I like who you are too. But I want to ask you, Jimmy, and I asked the chat. This is a little different. And I know, and you went through this similar, so I want to get your opinion. Is the thing that kind of makes me laugh, frustrates me in a way, but it just makes me laugh. I never unfriend people on Facebook on my personal thing, but I did unfriend someone today. Is when you don't talk to people for a very long time, the only time you hear from them is at low moments if your team loses, especially now we're not talking about losing. We're talking about a playoff game where we're thoroughly embarrassed. I'm not in the mood. And you have people sending you texts that you don't talk to. You have people commenting in your Facebook that you don't talk to. You got people doing all this stuff that you don't talk to. And it just kind of rubs me the wrong way. And maybe I'm being a little insensitive, but I don't do that. I'll say this. I've got friends that are Packer fans. They never texted me and I never texted them. I got friends who are Eagles fans. After they beat us, they never texted me. I never texted them. When we beat them, I never texted them. Now we talk days later, but it's never. I have a coworker is a Giants fan. I talked to him today. He didn't mention the game once. I mean, if I mentioned it, then we talk about it. But he didn't. He didn't bring it up one time, and I don't understand why people do that. I never did. I do it to you during your worst time of the Falcons?
No, you're good like that. And you know what? These people, they got no life. They sit around and they wait for moments like this 24 hours a day all year. So you know what they were doing? They're like this. They couldn't wait for that game to end. They couldn't wait to text message you. And just people want to rub salt on open wound, bro. So you know what the funny part was, and I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you were told today, but you know, there was the text string of our crew. You weren't on it, and somebody said, "Do I go after Mikey right now?" And Disco D and myself said no, because he doesn't do that to anybody.
Yeah.
So you're right. You don't do that. I don't understand that whole, you know, like you said, if it's somebody you haven't talked to in months or years and they just come out of nowhere, you know what? Screw them.
It's just weird shit, you know, and that's the part that, and I'm good. Like when we're all together and it's been a while, you know, then we all talk, like we give you a hard time about the Falcons Super Bowl now. I mean, which years later, but in the moment of the game or in the day of the game, now maybe, like I said, maybe I'm being a baby about it, whatever. But I'm just saying that I don't do it. I've never even thought about doing it. And I just don't understand why people feel it necessary to do it. And it's the Cowboys. Kelly's talked about it. Troy's talked about it. Cuts, I think, has said something about it. Everyone in it seems to be the common theme with the Cowboys. And it just doesn't make any sense. Now, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what it. Now here's what I'll say is I don't have a problem. I've read them all and I've gotten them all from YouTube and I've gotten them from the videos I make. I will take that. I'll own it. And you guys want to talk shit back to me? Hey, I delivered it to you guys. You guys give it to me all day long. I could care less. It doesn't matter. All I know is it increases subscribers. It gets the notice out there. And yesterday we had the biggest day of our channel. And honestly, and someone made a comment. I appreciated everyone. There was 300 people on at one point. I appreciate everyone that popped in. Even my wife said, "I cannot believe that you went on there after the game." And it maybe if it was a close game and something happened, I wouldn't have been. But I just felt the need that I needed to just kind of talk. And didn't have any Cowboy fans to talk to here. So I got on the YouTube channel and did that, and Mikey joined, and we took a bunch of calls. Ultra called in, and I love Ultra. And I told him my gripe with him. He says he doesn't do it, but Kelly, I know Kelly's in there, Kelly will back me up that he does sometimes says negative things to our guest, and the guest read it. I had a guest one time come back and say, "Hey, can I go back and read all the comments? I want to see what people say." And so some of these guests, they think they're coming in the Cowboys game for love fest, and it's fans, and because that's what I sell them on. I'm like, look, man, there's a Cowboys fans. I mean, we love you. Look at, I'm a diehard fan. Kelly's a diehard fan. Our guests are all diehard fans. So it's going to be a great experience. Why else would these Super Bowl champions, these, ultimate Hall of Famers come into our show? I mean, I love us, but they can go do that on Fox. They can go on ESPN. They can go on whatever they want, but they think they're getting back to the fans and giving back to the, and being able to share memories with fans that love them. So that's what they do. And then when they hear negative things, they're like, well, screw them, man. I ain't going back on that shit.
Well, it's funny. Look at Ultra's got to attack me and my Yankees, and even baseball season right now. Even though he's got a point. But you know what? But I agree with you, though, because, again, you work hard to get, people in, and the channel's blown up so much that people want to come in now. And Mike's right. We can see every comment. We don't put every comment up there because it's impossible. But, the guys who are on, all these special guests, they can see what's going on. If they see an asshole comment, then it it's not a good look.
It's not a good look.
Yeah.
It's just, and like I said, when me and you are on here, say I'm at the Blue Oyster, say I'm going to the Copacabana, say I'm this, say I'm that. I don't really care. I mean, we're all friends on here, but when we have guests, there's a line that you and I did. I hope and Randy liked the Wedding Singer. I don't know if you saw it, Jimmy. I did a Wedding Singer.
I didn't see it yet.
Oh, you got to go back. I was up in the air if I was going to do it, because I was like, some people are going to take this the wrong way. And no one did. Only one person kind of did, but most people had a sense of humor about it, understood that I wasn't saying to do that. It was just a funny clip. You have to check it out. It was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I will, man. But you know what? I give you credit, because it was literally the game ended, and I got the notification pop up on my phone that Cowboys Cave is live, and I said, "Damn, that was quick." And I hung out for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but then you know, I figured
it was good. I've got to talk to a lot of people, and I tell them this is what we want to do. Like, I would love to get to a point like on our show here, we're just taking calls. Now, I got the approval. The wife gave me the go ahead. Our spare room is going to get turned into a spare room / studio. So I got a desk coming on Thursday. I'm going to, because right now I unpack everything every time I do a show. So that'll be a central spot. So I'll be able to set things up to where hopefully we could take calls better and be a little bit easier than me running around trying to finagle. So
is that the room when you enter the front door, you make a left?
Yeah.
That's my room when I come stay.
Well, no, there's a bed in there. I turned it. The bed is turned that way, so then you have a area, and then I bought a desk on Amazon, how people are in business anymore with Amazon is beyond me. I got a desk with LED lighting. It had power strip built into the desk for $100 delivered.
Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, I know. So,
yes, but yeah, I mean, you know what? Like you said, you don't give up on your team, and you know, everybody who's going to give up their season tickets and not watch anymore, they're saying that now out of emotion. They'll be back in July.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to be hyped up again. I mean, it's just,
of course,
it's the circle that there is a funny thing out there. There's a meme out there. Kelly kind of talked about it in one of his videos, and someone posted it on me a couple times. But it's the circle of the Dallas Cowboy fan, and someone put an arrow and said, "You're here." So like, I mean, you have to laugh at it.
It's funny because I saw it was Camel Piper and his brother sent me that on a text message, and I said, "Man, it's going to be bad enough tonight." On the podcast.
I look, man, you become numb to it. And like I said, the way they lost, it almost is, I don't know. I don't want to say it's easier, but it's tough when you lose a close game and then it's play here or there. We got our ass whooped. We got outplayed in every phase.
EJ's still owing. Look at that. That's what
I know. He's got it. Well, Cuts, we're trying to figure out what to do for the fantasy football. We're getting for his championship cut, and then I gotta get that ring ordered. I got it all designed. I just gotta get it ordered. So definitely, EJ's a fantasy football champion. So he always gets it. And we had a great time. Someone commented on a preview. He goes, "Boy, that preview didn't age well." I said, "It's a preview. Didn't tell you what the results are. It's a preview. They're not supposed to age. It's in the moment." But we get it from all sides. What was that?
So we have Karima Wheats talking about maybe look at getting Jimmy back on the sidelines. I don't. He don't want no part of that.
Did you see Jimmy Johnson at halftime? I mean, he had more passion.
Yes.
You had Michael Irvin. You had DeMarcus Ware. You had all these former guys with this passion. Dez Bryant.
Yeah.
It's like when in the fans. I mean, it's just I just don't get it. I don't understand. And yeah, there is no Jimmy Johnson curse. I said that last night. I thought there was a curse. Everything was pointing in the right direction with the curse because we had so many different things happening that was starting to go our way. But right when you think things are going right for you in Cowboys fashion, they just rip your heart out. And I said it. The thing, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if there's a deal signed with the devil. That's the only other rumor that there is. But when Dallas loses in the playoffs, we just don't lose. We got our hearts ripped out. One way or the other.
And I'll tell you that game being 27-0 at half was just half of the NFL's problems this weekend with some of the crap that went on.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, obviously, it's Cowboys Cave. We'll keep talking Cowboys all we want.
someone talked about, and I didn't watch it because I was on the show, but the Lions and Rams. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, that was a hell of a game, man.
They said that at the end there was some penalty that they didn't call that was kind of
Pass
it really could have
interference.
changed the game. There was
Yeah,
something
it was easy PI.
Yeah.
Easy PI. Yeah, I agree with that. It's ridiculous how the calls are so inconsistent. I mean, it was two guys were jumping all over Puka. I said, you got to be kidding me. But not only that, it was the heat they took for the Miami and Kansas City game being on streaming only. Now, look, we all know that there's other places that you can kind of find the game without having to go on a streaming service.
And I got a guy I can hook you up with. But go ahead.
Absolutely. So, but they got a lot of heat for that. They're, and the stupid Taylor Swift crap that everybody's had enough of, Mahomes and his whining. So there was that. There was the Bills game being moved.
Well, you had to move that game. Did you see the weather there?
Yeah, I saw the weather. Okay. But I mean, so, and it's just, I don't know. Then the blowout, right? The Cleveland game got out of hand. So a lot of TVs got turned off. Yeah. The Dallas game at halftime, unless you're diehard, a lot of the TVs got turned off. So, they have a good close game right now that's over. And then hopefully Philadelphia loses tonight down in Tampa Bay.
I tell you what, if you guys just want to just put the cherry on top of my week, Philadelphia wins tonight. I mean, the only saving grace I have to salvage anything would be Philly losing. To at least get
losing. Okay, you said winning.
No, Philly. I'm saying if you want to put the cherry on top of my miserable week, you have them win because then their fans are really they're gonna have their way with us, and rightfully so. I mean, what am I gonna say? But the Lions, Lions win up 32 years. And I know Ultra said, and we're complaining, but it's a little bit different. I mean, Dallas has had the teams. They've had the teams, and they've been as good as some of these other ones. Bobby Slowick.
Yeah, Bobby Slowick. You see, I want Ben Johnson from Detroit. That's who I want as our next head coach. I don't care about
what are you guys going to do with Bill your coach?
He's gone.
No, I'm saying, are you going to make a run? I heard you're making a run with Harbaugh.
Belichick? Oh, Harbaugh. Well, first it was Belichick. I mean, they're interviewing everybody. I'd rather have Ben Johnson from Detroit. I mean, I think he'll fit in well. He does great in Detroit running that offense. And you know what? With the weapons we have, he'll do even better, assuming we get a quarterback. So that's who I want.
If you gave me a coach of the veteran guys for Dallas, I'd be happy with Harbaugh.
Really?
I don't think let me go on record. I don't think McCarthy should be fired. I think they need to change some personnel, but I don't think McCarthy should be fired. I think McCarthy has done well with his team. He's won. I mean, they go 4-1 with our backup quarterback when Dak was out. He's done that where he's been. He's gotten 12. The team has won 12 in a row. It's with comics.
Yeah.
So I don't put it all on him. I think. I don't know. And if they got rid of him, fine. But I think here's what I'll say. Someone's got to go. The quarterback's got to go. McCarthy's got to go, or they both got to go. Something's got to change.
That we requested to interview McCarthy? I don't know about that. I mean, look at the end of the day, look at
contract.
Look at McCarthy. Again, without Kellen Moore this year, they go 12 wins. Last year with Kellen Moore, they go 12 wins. Year before that, they go. I mean, he knows how to coach teams. 3 straight years, 12 wins. I don't want to hear it's his fault.
Yeah.
Right. If I look at again, that's me. I'm a friend of Cowboys Nation. You guys know that, but I'm not emotionally attached, like Rocky said. So I don't think it's the coach, not the head coach.
Is EJ, are you asking Dan Quinn to be a coach or Dan Quinn to be gone? If you're asking him to be gone, I would say I would be okay with that. I think the way the defense played Sunday, either he didn't really prepare at all, or his mind was elsewhere. I don't know. That team, they did strange things. I don't know the blown coverages. That's exact. I mean, to me, it was they ran. I mean, and EJ's pretty savvy with this stuff. So I hate to get too into the weeds on scheme and stuff. So I don't want to look stupid, but just as an observer, it seemed like they were running a lot more zone, and we've always been more man. And I don't know if it's something they see in Green Bay that made them do that. But when I was watching, Parsons on some 3rd and long, getting out in coverage instead of attacking the quarterback, there was just some odd things in that game that I don't recall seeing much. So I could be way off. I'll leave it to you guys, experts who do that. I'm just a fan, but it didn't seem right. Something seemed way off with him.
Well, and you know what? I mean, you guys left wide receivers open by 10 yards, 15 yards. I said, geez, my mother could have ran that route, right?
Yeah.
And to be that wide open. To Ultra's point, if Belichick comes in, he's going to want full control. I think, and I wouldn't want Belichick. I think he's past his prime, and I wouldn't want to give him full control of the front office and everything else.
What you're dealing with there is when Tom Brady was going to leave Tampa, I had said, if I was Dallas at the time, and I'd said it I would move on. That was when Dak was doing his franchise. I said I would let Dak go and I would sign Brady. And I knew it'd only be for a couple year period, 2-3 years, but I knew that Brady would deliver a Super Bowl championship. And he did. He did in Tampa. And with Belichick, it's going to be very short term, but this is a team that you have now, right? Except you got a few holes you got to figure out linebacker, but you're getting Overshown back. I mean, you're going to, you got the offensive guys. If you went with another quarterback, I mean, you can make things work, but it's going to be a short period. It'll be a short stint. I mean, Belichick is, he's no spring chicken.
No.
I would like to go a route where I can get either a guy with some energy like a Harbaugh, even though he's not super young, or younger kind of up and coming coordinator, coach, something to get some juice into the team.
You don't want some, you get the younger guys, they're not going to relate to Bill Belichick, And look I got Kareem Weed asking me to show him my hairy chest. Look man.
Look, dude.
This is 2024.
Hey, this isn't.
I take care of my business.
OnlyFans or whatever the hell that is. This is, we're trying to do a show here. Hey, what's up?
This is a professional broadcast. Come on.
Miscommunication on the back end was bad. Zone was horrible.
Yes.
Man wasn't much better. Just overall poor effort by the secondary and D-line. No, they didn't get enough pressure. I mean, they definitely didn't get a lot of pressure. What's up, Steven? That was a disappointing thing. And they had said that Jordan Love, if you get pressure on him, you get him kind of rolling around. He has the worst quarterback rating in the NFL, and they didn't do anything. And we're supposed to be proud of our pressures. So.
Hey, I got news for you. And when he did roll out, he had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whether he's in a pocket, whether he was doing scripted, rollouts, both right and left, that's where he hit a couple of his long throws with wide open guys when he was rolling
wide
out.
Open. Yeah.
Wide open. So anyway,
disappointing, man.
I mean, I feel for you guys.
I don't know what the hell to say. I don't know what they're going to do. Timeline, you got to think that Jerry's always been one. I don't think he's going to do any knee-jerk reaction kind of stuff, but you got to think something's going to be coming in the next, week or so. 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to get something.
Hey, Arthur Blank took a day to fire our coach. There's if you're going to do it, just be done with it.
Well, what I'm saying is but the thing with the Falcons, they were losing. I mean, you're going to fire a guy that was 36 and.
Well, that's my whole point. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't wait 2 weeks.
But I don't know.
I don't think they should.
Emotions. I don't know if they want to let the emotions get the best of them. Is what I'm saying, because I think what they really need to understand is what are they going to do with their roster, with their quarterback? Are you gonna go all in again with Dak and just go ahead and let McCarthy go? Then you're going to change the offense again, or do you just kind of say, hey, we're going to let McCarthy go, we're going to move on from Dak, and we're just going to kind of start fresh? If they do that, I think they're going to wait a little bit longer, because I think they're going to try and figure out behind the scenes who do they have as options as coaches. Because does that coach want Dak? Maybe the coach is like, wait, I can fix Dak. I can make it work with Dak. Dak is still a very good quarterback. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with him. He's still a top, he's a top 10 quarterback. I've said it, and I believe he is. But the problem is it's in the playoffs. Right. It seems you're getting a different Dak, and you get that deer in headlights look. And that's the part that's the only reason I would make a change with him. during the season, his numbers, everything is there, but we've seen it in the playoffs. I'm not San Francisco, the second one, because they were a better team, but the one at home I was at, he was up against Jimmy Garoppolo, and the 49ers didn't do jack shit. And he played worse than Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo played terrible. And then you get outplayed by Jordan Love in his first game. You look out and you go see CJ Stroud in his first as a rookie just look, fantastic, and they go win a playoff game. As a Cowboy fans, it frustrates the hell out of you because we look at this team. You got 9 All-Pros, you got this, you're winning that, and you look like superstars, 16 straight wins at home, and it's like, what the hell just happened?
Well, you know what? When it comes playoff time and ultra, Dak, unfortunately, he stutter steps, he drops the ball, and he keeps making that mistake again.
Yeah.
And so that's your answer, in my opinion. It's 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? If it's me, you got Trey Lance, you sign him for a reason. You can trade Dak, you can get some picks or some players back. And if I'm a Cowboys fan, that's kind of what I do right now. Again, it's not because he's a bad quarterback. He just doesn't play well in the playoffs. And it's a pressure. It's just like being a Yankees fan. Yankee Stadium, New York, it's a pressure cooker. Dallas for football is the same way.
There's expectations, Michael over there. There's an expectation that you got to live up to, and if you can, you can. If you can, you can, and that's just and that's it. He looked lost yesterday. The whole team did. No, and I agree. But the problem is it starts at the quarterback. Everyone feeds off the quarterback, and I think when things go bad, then it just kind of festers all around. I mean, you saw the little bit of frustration with CeeDee Lamb, and you saw some of the errant throws, and this it continues to build up, and that's the frustrating part. But no player to me, there's not a player on this team, I would probably say, except a few. There's Tyler Smith, I would think, is one. CeeDee Lamb is one. Bland would be one for me. Zach Martin. I don't think there's really any player on here that's not untouchable. I think you need to shake things up. You need to shake it up. And
I told you I don't want to hear about Taylor Swift. Would you stop?
Who's doing Taylor Swift?
You are.
Is that
one of her songs? I think.
I don't know. I don't listen to that shit. You say I'm Poison. I listen to Miami. I'm Miami guy.
The 305.
I got the 305. I got the Poison Clan. My brother got me Luke Skywalker shirt. I got a Too Short from Oakland.
Too Short.
Yeah. So
what I was listening to the other day? Remember CB4? I was listening to Straight Out of Low Cash.
Straight out of Sweat from my balls.
Sweat from my balls.
Underrated movie. That's an underrated movie.
Yes, it is. I can watch that. And the funny part is, now that my kids are older, I can watch it with them too. You know what I mean? It's great movie.
Diggs would be one that I would be. Yeah, I would definitely be holding on to him. I mean, there's a few guys I would hold on to, but anyone else, I would be listening. I would be listening. Oh God, who said that? Tebow. We're not that bad. I'm just saying is they've had Trey Lance there. They know. I mean, they know if the guy has some potential. And again, it's high risk, high reward. Right now, you're playing it very even keel. You know what you're going to get, and the expectation, and more importantly, I think, to the fan base. What are you selling to the fan base next year that is going to get them charged up? They have to do something. You have to do something.
You know what? It's crazy because you're talking about Stroud. I look at my picks from last week. I was wrong on every single one because the Bills won. The Texans, I told you guys, Stroud is no joke, man. I mean, he was near perfect. His stats were better than Jordan Love's yesterday. He was near, I think he had a perfect passer rating. Phenomenal. And you sit there and you say, Bryce Young and all, striking gold like that. Can you imagine? Who would have thought the Texans would be in, not only make the playoff, win their division, in the second round of the playoffs are going with that rookie quarterback.
But what's funny is the Texans got a lot of heat when Lovie Smith won the last game, and that put the Panthers ahead of them.
Yeah.
And you don't of course Houston's going to say it now that they had CJ Stroud as their number one quarterback over Bryce Young. But had they been at 1, would they have taken Bryce Young?
Yes.
Or would they have taken CJ?
They would
I
have
mean,
taken
that's
Bryce
the
Young.
thing. And that's a funny thing that, so that Lovie Smith winning, it pretty much assured it for him, right? Because it made sure Bryce Young went to Carolina. They end up getting CJ. So that is, oh, Mike. Who is that? Emil thinks, what do you think? I don't know. You didn't think what do you think? I was born yesterday?
Oh man.
You don't think I love that 80 movie?
Great movie.
Here.
Great movie.
What is? Let's see, and then we'll get rolling. It's almost.
Gonna check out his tallywhacker.
Please, can you call it a tallywhacker? I get the whole scare. I get the whole scared to fire Mike McCarthy thing, but he needs to go with Vrabel, Harbaugh. See, I don't like Vrabel. I would not want Vrabel. I would not. I wouldn't want Vrabel. I want an offensive. I want an offensive mind. If it's not Belichick, and again, I'm not 100% Belichick. I'd be okay with it if. I guess I would be okay with it, but I would want it. My preference, if you're going to move on from McCarthy, is to get an offensive mind.
Well, I mean, to Emil's point, maybe Coach Hunt is a good idea.
Maybe
nothing wrong, little Hunt.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I
never light a fire under somebody.
Exactly. So I did.
Anything else we got, Jimmy, or what?
No, like I said, I mean, you look at the Texans, that Detroit game last night with the Rams. That was a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
And again, that was one of the bright spots for the NFL this past weekend. Another bright spot will be Philadelphia losing tonight. Now think about it. Now, so AJ Brown ain't playing; he's hurt. He's removed the Eagles stuff off his social media, is what I saw. So you got to read into that a little bit. And Jalen Hurts is hurt. So let's hope.
Let me ask you this. Yeah, I'll give you some trivia. If Tampa wins tonight, what does that mean this weekend? What does that mean for this weekend?
What do you mean?
Just what would that signify this weekend? If Tampa Bay wins, what does that mean for the wild card weekend?
Well, then that means that
you're there.
None of the division winners.
No.
What?
All you the got me. Won except for one.
Oh, you see, that's top of mind for you right now.
How embarrassing is that? You're the home freaking team that went 8-0 at home, that won 16 in a row, and you got the shit beat out of you. Talk about embarrassed. There we go.
Well, hopefully Philadelphia goes down and gets beaten up by those Buccaneers. Every home team has won. But you see, you guys are tuned into that.
Yeah.
So, and by rights, like you said before, with Mayfield, the guy's got heart. He's not a great quarterback, but he's a smart player. He makes smart decisions. He plays with a lot of heart. The Eagles, apparently their dopey ass security guard, whatever it is, Dom, whatever is going to be on the sidelines tonight, is what I heard. I'm like, that guy shouldn't be on the sideline anymore.
He's not allowed. He's allowed. I thought he was banned.
I read in 2 places today that he is allowed on the sideline tonight. Maybe I'm wrong.
We're gonna have to look at that.
Anyway,
we're gonna have to look.
The big thing is Brown out, Hurts is hurt.
Yeah. Well, and I would say too is a couple comments. Antonio Pierce, believe it or not, McCarthy is a player's coach. He really is. So, but I like Antonio Pierce. I cannot believe that I was putting something up, Jimmy.
Sorry,
I can't believe that the Raiders haven't gotten him, a contract yet. The other thing is Vrabel would change the culture immediately. What I disagree. And the reason I disagree is the culture starts at the top. And I've said this a million times. Jerry Jones is I love him as an owner. I don't even have much of a problem with him, with player personnel, with Will McClay. Because like I said, you can't blame the lack of success of this team on the talent. They've got enough talent. I mean, they've won 12 games, 3 years in a row. They were the number 2 seed. No excuse. They were the number whatever seed. They had a home game 2 years ago, got beat at home. They've got the problem with the culture but with Jerry, he's too close. He's too close to the players. The players have open door to him. And I've used this example. I'll do it one more time, and I promise I won't bore you with it again. But in my line of work or anyone's line of work, there's a chain of command. And if people were working in my group that I was responsible for had an open door and just went above my head to my boss about things without talking to me first, that would be a problem. But that's what these players have with Jerry. And I think it cuts the legs under the coach, undermines them. That's the culture problem. That's the culture problem, is the glam, and it comes with it. I mean, we love the prestige, we love the notoriety. We understand all that. That's what we get with being a Cowboy. But there's a price that you have to pay for that, and that's what Michael Irvin and those other guys. If you looked at the way they did things, of course, take the White House out of it, of course, but the way that they, the way they were, it was a lot different. Now the social media era is different. Believe it is. All these guys got podcasts. People look at Micah Parsons' podcast. I guarantee you that every player, there's players on every other team that have podcasts. But who's the one that they talk about on ESPN, on Fox, on internet, on everything all the time? They talk about Micah Parsons because he's a Cowboy. So that's what I'm saying, the culture of it. You have to understand when you got the star in your helmet, there's going to be responsibility that comes with it. There's going to be eyes that are going to be on you. How can you handle that in a positive way? That's where they got a problem with the culture of the team. And so I think it's beyond the locker room. So
what you're saying is it's kind of like General Zod. So you're a general, and who do you answer to? That's what it sounds like in Dallas.
Yeah.
I answer only to Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I mean, Steven, 100%. The other teams want to. They look at the Cowboys as rich little kids. We got the beautiful stadium. We got you guys been to the Star. I mean, it's unbelievable, and they love nothing more than this. I mean, that's the way we were as kids, right? We didn't have no money. We hated the rich kids. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's the way it was.
I didn't have them Nikes. I had them Zayre's shoes or whatever they were.
Yeah,
them $5 rack sneakers.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress, Jimmy. It's.
I mean, what we got the game coming up tonight, and then we'll see what happens. Let's see if Tampa Bay can keep the streak going.
They're all picking. Let's see. We got Marcus Spears. Let's run through it. But yeah. Marcus Spears 24-21 Tampa. Rex Ryan is he's going to pick. Now, tell us who you guys got, Tampa or Philly. I'm sure I know what you guys are going to do, but who you guys got tonight? Rex Ryan, 27-17 Tampa. Ryan Clark, 24-18 Tampa. Oh, Scott, don't do it, because that's if he goes Tampa, that means that the Eagles are going to win.
They're going to win. Yeah.
They're going to win. Come on, Scott. Don't do it to us. Tampa. I see Tampa. Scott picks Tampa 20-16. Oh, God, don't do this to me. Lisa, Lord above, I've been good to you all year of my whole life. I've never committed a crime. I've never been to jail. Just give me one thing. Give me the Buccaneers winning tonight so I can just enjoy myself, and I can go back on social media and I don't have to hear no crap from nobody else.
And what sucks the worst is if they win and go on next week, they also have the 76ers in fourth place in the conference. Yeah. They have the Flyers in third place.
Oh, wait, hey, Jimmy, look.
I don't want to hear any of that crap.
Look who's at Tampa. You got the game on?
I got to switch it on.
Oh, turn it on real quick. He's on the pirate ship. He's on the pirate ship. Do you got it?
I'm doing that right now.
I
missed it?
Huh?
Did I miss it?
Oh, there. Yeah. Fred's got it. Fred's got it. God, he's getting old, man.
Jeez.
16-time world champion. The Nature Boy Ric Flair's in the house.
No,
it's not Uncle Cheech. Not Uncle Cheech. The best was Uncle Cheech called the show yesterday, Jimmy. Uncle Cheech called the show.
He called in?
He called in because I was taking calls. And
there's the Nate. Woo!
And I said, Uncle Cheech, we talked for 5 minutes. And then he started cussing. Like I said, he wasn't coherent. I don't know what was going on with Uncle Cheech. But then he texted me, goes, "Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was talking to you." I'm like, who the hell were you talking? You told me, man. What the hell's going on with Uncle Cheech? He's like losing his mind.
That was like on, what was it, Rush Hour? You called us?
Yes, that sounds like you called me. And we had a great time with the phone. So I want to do it. Now, once we get going, we're gonna try and do it more. Next week, I'm gonna start it up. People call, they call, but we had a great time. I got to talk to a bunch of people I hadn't had an opportunity to meet yet. We had the video. Donovan, hopefully I got his name right. He went in. He was our only one that went through the video. And it came on. He was prepared. It looked good. Cuts by Jones was on there, but every time Cuts comes on, he had his audio issue. So we saw the smiling face, but I couldn't hear him.
Hey, but you know what? Before I forget, there's still a few weeks of football left, but next season, in Mercedes-Benz, the Falcons will be hosting the Cowboys. So we're going to have a field trip.
We're going to have some fun. We got a few field trips. We're going to have that one. And I got to check with Doug to see. I'm sure Doug's going to go to the Atlanta one because he's in Charlotte. So that might work. And see if Doug and the family, they're in Charlotte. So I'd love to do that one again. And
Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the by God Horsemen.
And then the Atlanta one, definitely do a tailgate, do something there, see if we can get people. And
then the Cowboys tailgate at AT&T, which I will.
Now we're going to do the big tailgate at AT&T. Yes. And Greg, I love Greg, man. I felt bad for Greg. So, I was like, I texted him. I said, Greg, I'm going to go on, man. I said, I just got to get some stuff off my chest. He goes, I can't do it, man. My heart's broken. I said, no, I get it, dude. I get it. Some people handled it. I'm better talking through it. I feel a lot better. I would have had the worst day today if I didn't have those hours that the fans and again, can't thank them enough for all of them that tuned in. It was therapeutic. Hopefully I helped you guys out, but you helped me out even more. So
Ben will be there. Good. Beautiful.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we'll get a good turnout. We're going to get a good turnout for the game. So, all right. Well, it's going to be kickoff. There we go. I got to look at it. There's the and they, just to make it even worse, they replayed the Green Bay Cowboy game. I didn't even watch it, but I saw it on NFL Network on the schedule. So,
we got San Francisco is going to work Green Bay. Baltimore and Houston. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Let's see how Stroud shows up there.
I wonder if Cut take road trips. Cuts, you thinking about going to the ATL? Let me get him on too. Doug, it'd be crazy.
Hey, Mike Tag and I have been to Atlanta for a few Cowboys Falcons games, and we have fun there. We go up to Buckhead, where all the bars and the clubs are.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go to Buckhead no more.
No,
my sales guy. I'm flying up tomorrow morning. He goes, Mike. He goes, I got a little problem. I said, what? He goes, well, my car got broken into at my apartment complex. I said, oh, that's all right. He goes, no, the problem is they busted 2 windows out in the back, and I haven't been able to get them fixed because they can't get the right window replacement. He said, so I'm picking you up, and I got heat, so the heat's going to be running, but we're going to have that. We're going to have some, it's going to be kind of like a convertible. The windows down. So I heard what they did in Atlanta.
It's like Donnie Brasco. I'm getting a draft in here. Close the window.
They did like defund the police, and all that stuff was with the police. Not to get all into that, but I guess the police are like, well, all right, we're not gonna police anything. So
that's fine. We're not gonna rent a car. We're just gonna remember the time. So the best was when we were up there, and I said, I'm gonna hail a cab. You said, I gotta hail no cab. And 2 seconds later, we're big shots riding in a cab up the street back to the hotel.
I know. Oh man! And there we go. Cuts in for the Atlanta game.
Yes,
I felt bad. Cuts and I had a great weekend. We had a great weekend planned. Next week we're hitting the game. Dallas was supposed to win and had everything all set up. We're gonna have a good time. Had a whole crew going and all that happened. So I definitely have to do it again. But anyway, Jimmy, I better get rolling. I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning because I got to fly to Atlanta. My flight's at 5:15. So,
you have a safe trip. I get to wake up a little early tomorrow because I might be shoveling some snow. We'll see. And I got to go to work, but not as early as you. So safe travels. It was fun hanging out with everybody tonight. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends. You guys are the best. You guys make the show, and we have a lot of fun with you.
Yeah, definitely like, subscribe, share, check out all our stuff. And for all you Cowboy fans who are sick of these losers, we got champions coming into the cave. Tony Hill will be in the next week. We got James Washington. We're going to be working on some other guests. So we're going to be getting some champions coming in here to tell some stories about when the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls and representing. So definitely going to be a good time. Make sure you guys check it out. Keep tuning in. We're not going nowhere. I know the Cowboys let you down, but Cowboys Cave we ain't gonna let you down. We're gonna have a good time and hopefully bring you guys some good shows, some good interviews. So you guys take care. I'm signing off. I'm just gonna leave this thing roll one more time, and I can't do any ending hype videos because it's not allowed to be hyped.